So more people are joining in, and think we would begin in a second. All right. I think we have a handful of people already. Okay. I think we have a handful of people already, and we can start. Thank you once more for joining us for this webinar. My name is Angela Olubi. I would be the moderator for today. We have two formidable speakers on this platform. That's Mr. Oluwabumi Jimo and Dr. Friday James. Before we start, I would like you to put in the chat where you are joining in from, and I would like you all to introduce yourself. So you put your name and where you are joining from in the chat. So I would like to bring on the first speaker without further ado. I hope your day is going well because it is about to get more interesting. So Dr. Friday, over to you.
Good day, participants from wherever. It's nice to have you around. As mentioned, my name is Dr. Friday James. I'm a veterinarian by training, a farmer by practice. My job this afternoon is to bring the introduction to who we are as a people, and then what you stand to gain from the second presentation. So going straight to it, Avant Farm started as a partnership initiative with Shongai Farm from Benin Republic in the year 2017. That partnership ran for and operated for 3 years up until 2020, where there was a migration of management from Shongai Farm to a new set of persons, and the name also became Avant Organic Farms and Foods Limited. The farm or company is fully incorporated with incorporated 2020. What is our vision? Our vision as an entity is to become the foremost agribusiness in Nigeria. And we hope to do that through producing healthy food through sustainable farming and providing agribusiness services to our customers across the value chain. And the main focus being positive return on investment. Our business methodology is that our decisions are always scientific and we are data driven. So all of the business decisions we make are always scientific and data-driven. Our values. Number one is innovation. We see what other people see, but beyond that, we think beyond what other people have thought. We have a can-do attitude, and our disposition is that we are willing to take on challenges in the agribusiness sphere and create solutions. The next core value for us is quality. Our product and processes are consistently adhering to the highest quality standards as can be confirmed by regulatory bodies. Next is accountability. We are a people of high sense of responsibility, and we hold each other accountable for all that we do. The fourth one is teamwork. We aim to create enabling environment where individuals can thrive as members of a high-performing team while handling their task and then aiming for successes. Then finally, respect for people. It's all about people, even though we're dealing with products, but the end goal for us is people. So we have high expectations, hence we value people, encourage people, and value people development. This is one of the reasons why this seminar is holding. It's also about adding value to people and bringing development to people. What do we do? As an agribusiness, we're currently engaged in crop production. We also engaged in livestock production. We're also involved in processing. We're also involved in agribusiness training, like this one currently going on, as well as agri-tourism. The area of our operations is, as can be seen on the screen, we are into all of broiler production, layer production, growers, post management. We're into agroforestry, feed milling. We're into palm oil production and processing, and others. So that's who we are in a nutshell. Now going to the topic of discussion for today. You know, right from primary, secondary school, we all have been taught agriculture. And three basic components we've been told. One, that it is the cultivation of the soil, cropping of plants, and rearing of animals. Across to our schools, this is what we've been taught over and again. But beyond that, we are discussing the agribusiness, which tends to go beyond agriculture. The second presentation, we'll see in details the difference is between the two. However, in a nutshell, I can say for now that agribusiness is an all-encompassing sphere. You can see it as a major set and agriculture being a subset in it. If you consider a chain, let's use a chain as an example. If you take a chain, you can take one circle or one section of the chain being agriculture, whereas the whole length, the interconnection of the various chain link units being agribusiness. The World Bank defined value chain as a full range of activities carried out by farm workers to bring a product from its conception to its use and beyond. So this is what we'll be looking at today. So we're looking at consumption of agricultural products all through to its use by a consumer, and even beyond that, after the consumer used that product, is there anything out of it? So that generic, that holistic view is what agribusiness is tending towards, and that is what is going to form the focus of our discussion this moment. Agriculture and agribusiness. To just try to draw a line between the two, they differ in scope. Agriculture is strictly hinged on those three practices: tilling the soil, planting crops, and rearing animals. However, agribusiness is beyond these practices. A whole lot that happens around and surrounding these practices to see to the completion of the process from beginning to the end is what is called agribusiness. So agribusiness is very large and wide in scope. In scale, agriculture is small scale. It can get big scale, but however big it is, we're not big in size now, in terms of size of operation, but big in terms of the value chain. The whole value chain is not staying in one place, is encompassing. That is what agribusiness is also doing. So that's another point of difference. We can mention the third one being objective. Why do people go into agriculture? First, it was subsistence. Now we have people getting into agriculture for business, for profit. However, there's a layer of difference when agribusiness is considered. That you also learn from the main presentation after this introductory presentation. So we need to, the core of our presentation today is to help us see where agriculture differ from agribusiness and how to take advantage of it. To also get further perspective into agriculture, we say agriculture alone is not enough. It has not been enough for our forefathers. It has not been enough for our parents. It cannot be enough for us, this generation and the generations after us. If we look at the Nigerian GDP, the agricultural sector over the years has been contributing roughly 25% to all of our revenue. What that means is, of all the revenue we make as a country, about 25% of it has been coming from agriculture. Over 70% of it has been coming from the oil industry. Now, if we zoom into that, this roughly 25% contribution, over 87% of that comes from crop production. And only about 8.1 comes from livestock, 3.2 comes from fishery, and then 1% comes from forestry. Now, this is good. If you look at it, we're talking about an industry that is lucrative, an industry that is turning in as much as 25% of what we are gaining as a country. However, if we zoom into this 25% and then look at the other indices, how is agriculture faring for us as a country? One, it's been estimated that every household, all households in Nigeria spend 40.2 trillion on food. Out of 40.2 trillion spending on household items, 22.8 or 57% is on food. That means is that average Nigeria will spend on equipment, spend on clothing, spend on every other necessities, but over 50% of the spending is on food. And this will never stop as we're increasing in population. Another interesting indices is that each year, agriculture generates about 689 billion for us as a country. However, we import 4 times of that amount on food again. What that is telling us is we are spending 600 billion, but we are importing 4 times that amount on food, emphasizing to us that what we are producing is not enough for us. It's only 1/4 of what we are using. This is also emphasizing that there is an opportunity. If we are only producing 1/4 of what we are consuming, it only means that there's room for us to do more. There's opportunity for us to exploit. Another interesting fact is that 80% of this revenue is coming from smallholder farmers. That is backyard farmers, household farms that are largely, or to an extent, doing it for subsistence at subsistence level. There is opportunity for us. So what are the key takeaways from this presentation or from webinar today? 1, by the end of this webinar, you will come to understand better what the Nigeria agribusiness value chain is, how it looks like. You'll be able to see more than what you're seeing currently with regards to the Nigerian Agribusiness Fair. Number 2, you'll be able to identify opportunities in agribusiness value chains. I know we are all logging in from different locations, different places, different geographic regions, and we have peculiarities. At the end of this presentation, you'll be able to identify opportunities where you are, and then you'll be able to identify low-risk entry points. There are many ways you can enter the market, but for us who are young entrepreneurs, for us who are middle-class workers that are looking for extra opportunities in addition to what we're currently doing in the agribusiness sector, it is important for us we get the entry right. It is important for us to enter from a point where our risks are minimized. This webinar will help you identify those points that you'll be entering into the sector from a low risk entry point. Another benefit you'll be driving today is that you will identify also low budget entry points. What that means is you might not have the millions to start with. You may not have an uncle like Dangote, whose uncles gave you some money to start him up, and he was able to expand and build an empire. But you'll be able to use what you have, no matter how small, to find a suitable entry and then begin to grow and do something for yourself in the sector. Finally, you also be equipped with tools and knowledge to help you make investment decisions. This is not going to be like, oh, I have a friend who is doing this, so I want to just jump into it. Oh, this person said doing this thing is lucrative, so I want to jump into it. You are not going to jump into it without foresight. You are not jumping into it without insight. And you're not jumping into it without hindsight. So we're giving you 3 things: a foresight to see the future, what the future in the industry possibly look like; hindsight to see from mistakes or opportunities that others have not been able to see, and insight for you to be able to make decisions you can count on, bank on, to say that yes, to a very large extent, I am safe, I can venture into this, I can do this, and the outcome I'm expecting will be fantastic. Looking at the agribusiness value chain, what we have known traditionally is that we have 4 or 5 key points in the value chain. That is production, processing, marketing, and sales. But the industry has evolved. Businesses have evolved around these 4 points. Today, many people are doing very well in other linked value chain points. For instance, input supplies, storage and warehousing, logistics and distribution, exportation, branding and packaging, training, research and development, agritourism. Now, this is just to mention but a few. And it's only to show us that there's need for a paradigm shift from the conventional we have known about agriculture. There's a lot more happening behind the scene. There's a lot more happening that many people are not seeing or have not fully understood. Therefore, they are not taking advantage of, that we want to share, highlight, and then open up to us. To take an example, this is just looking at a typical broiler value chain. What we know, or what many people know, is they go to a hatchery or go to a dealer and buy broiler, they come and rear. After whatever time they raise them to, they take it, they get a buyer, and that is all for them, without understanding what happened behind the scene. This is a typical schematic representation of a broiler value chain. Understanding something like this will help you make critical decisions. Like, for instance, you'll be able to say, I will sell my broiler only to so persons. I won't sell to this kind of persons. It will help you make decisions like, oh, I will raise my bets only for this amount of time, and I'm not keeping them beyond certain time with me. It will help you see reasons why you say, oh, I will use this kind of feed, I won't use this kind of feed. It will help you see a whole lot of things. There are a lot of people that are into the value chain that are not necessarily doing the traditional or conventional agriculture. And even if you're in agriculture, if you understand all these interplays, you'll be a better farmer. You'll be a better agripreneur. You'll be more informed. You'll be more informed in your operations, and even beyond your operation, your marketing and sales, and be more informed in even scaling your business. So, summarily, what are we to expect? We are to expect from the second presentation a breakdown of the Nigerian agribusiness value chain. And while that is being done, I believe you'll be able to see yourself as a young person looking for opportunities. It's easier if the largest opportunity or source of income for Nigeria is oil, and then oil is restricted to the Niger Delta. So even if you are around Niger Delta, what it takes for you to venture in, the barrier of entry into that industry is high. You can't just say, I want to go into the oil business. Oil is the first revenue generator. If that space is difficult for us to penetrate, it only makes sense that we focus on the next one. After oil, what is the next source of income, major source of income for us as a country and as a people. It is agriculture. And beyond agriculture, it is agribusiness. So it makes a lot of sense that we focus on agribusiness now, because it's the next largest source of revenue for us as a country. And the entry barrier is quite low. We need to learn from people that have tried, failed, learned, grown, and then succeeded, so that we're able to build or replicate same for us. It doesn't matter where you are on the value chain. It doesn't matter what your interest in. It could be in cropping, it could be in animal rearing, it could be in other points outside of this. But there's a lot for us to gain if we're able to understand the ecosystem of the agribusiness environment. So on this note, I want to say, bring my presentation to a close, while I hope you begin to jot down your questions, your observations, and then anticipate the main presentation from the next speaker. So once again, you're welcome to this free webinar. Do have a fantastic learning experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Friday. Before we go to the next speaker, I would like to especially welcome some of our participants. I can see that a lot of you have imputed your names and where you're joining from. Rabi from Periscope Consulting, we see you. Thank you for joining. Kabri Olatunde from Abuja. Titus Abiola from Lagos. Thank you so much for joining. Josephine from Ibadan. Thank you so much for joining. And every other person that is able to join this platform. The next speaker will be coming up now. And after a section, we'd like you to, there's a section for questions and answers. So we'd like you to insert your questions in the chat box where we'd be able to respond accordingly. Mr. Oluwabumi Jimo, you can begin your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, my moderator. My name is Oluwabumi Jimo. I am an animal scientist. My years of experience goes about 14 years in the field of core agribusiness. So I will be taking us through the course of this free webinar on how to profitably venture into agribusiness on low budget. I will first of all clarify who these classes are meant for, because we have a lot of classes. We have for the investors, we have for school visitor, we have people that are with public body, with governments that send people for trainings. Now to clarify on who this webinar is for. One, it's meant for working class people that are already working with one organization or the other, looking for business that's probably in the field of agriculture. Now, that is one. Two, we have a new graduates that are still maybe not employed, or maybe get a few thousands that they want to turn over and make business with it. We have people in this class too, people that are working or looking for what to retire to. Maybe a business that we want to retire to, like my father now. My father is a teacher and he's retired to poultry production now. So if you are somebody like that, this is your class. People that are okay, maybe they just want to look for something to do and retire from that stressful work. This webinar is meant for. Now, most of this way really is to just open up to 5. We have no into, not necessarily go and break banks or go and get millions. No. 5 low budget agribusiness opportunity. You can start doing now. You don't necessarily need to wait till you are retired or till you have 500,000 or 1 million. Before you start, you can actually start with a few thousands. However, before we go into that, it is important we start with what the first speakers have put us through, which is understanding what the business is, what we mean by this agriculture, what is the difference. I'm sure some of us must have passed through one farm or the other that have been there sometimes ago and they are no more. Some business that collapse, some business poultry farm that are empty. So even with that alone, you can be scared. You can be scared that something is wrong with the business. That is just because what you are about to hear right now, they are not privy, they are not opportune to hear it. Or probably they hear it, they are not making use of it. So please make use of this free webinar well and capitalize on it. Don't wait till next year or till eternity before you start the business. Start now. So I would like to start by showing you the objective of this free webinar. To showcase the general knowledge about agriculture and agribusiness. We have started with that already with the first speaker. Then the general knowledge about the value chain in business generally, because 1 or 2, 3, we have at least 1 or 2 people that are already in business, but not in agribusiness. But that's your business. What is the value chain? Know where you are placed, because if you know where you are sitting, that is where you can think, okay, I'm actually relying on these people to survive. How do I cut my costs, backward integration to survive or to earn more? Who are those people that are relying on me? Generally on business. Then the concept of the value chain in agriculture, an overview of the value chain creation in agriculture. How do you create value chain? How do you make new things happen? Things that are not even in the value chain before. How do you see an opportunity even grow through innovation and bring it out? Something like you remember a few years ago, people that are in agribusiness, we remember that we don't have anything like Noila before. There's no Noila in the value chain before. But thank God for Amo Beam are the one that came up with Noila, and they own it proudly Nigeria. And that is where the word N comes from. It is Nigerian own. So it is how to think around all that to create your own value chain. Then number 2, to show the actors in the agri value chain. Are the actors, are the people that matter. Who are people
Number 5.
All right. I'll start from number 5, that we have to understand the actors in agri value chain. That is the number 5 objective for this webinar. Then number 6, knowing the best spot for new investors. We have a lot of people that are already in the agribusiness value chain, that are already in the business. But people that are just coming in new, we say they are lucky, because they having opportunity to be part of this webinar will make them know where to sit and the best spots for them. Now, the number 7 is benefits and the risk in business. We are not saying there's no challenge. We are not saying there's no risk to face. We are not saying it's going to be a smooth ride. we are saying that with this knowledge of what we are going to get in this webinar and our trainings that is going to follow, you are going to be well informed and well prepared for those challenges. Then the last one, how not to invest in agribusiness. So let me go ahead because of time. Then the word agriculture and agribusiness. I will not dwell much on it because of the first speaker has clarified some things. But look at the word agriculture and agribusiness. It appeared that agribusiness is a new word that is just reigning, that everybody is just clamoring, agribusiness, agribusiness. In fact, when I was in secondary school, I didn't hear anything agribusiness. All I know is agriculture. The word culture just means, in this context, means growing, to culture things, to nurture it, to grow things in terms of growing corn, growing cocoyam, yam. If you looking at the definition of agriculture, there's nothing like business there. They didn't talk about profit. They didn't talk about sales. They didn't talk about business techniques. No. And that is what makes it different from agribusiness. Business behind that agri, it is what we are talking about. So if you are thinking about you want to grow yam for yourself and family to eat, we are not talking to you in this webinar. We are talking to people that want to make money, that want to do business, that want to turn it to profit. That same things our forefathers are doing, our parents are doing, and they can only afford to maybe once in a while sell 4 or 5 goats and pay someone's school fees, and they thought it's business. No, it is not. It must be a calculative thing. You know what you expect at a particular time because you plan it with business mind. Now, I want to pursue what agriculture is just to explain what I want to show. Is the science, art, and occupation concerned with cultivation of land. We all know that. If you ask any SS1 student to define agriculture, it will definitely mention all this. Cultivation of land, raising crops, feeding and breeding, raising livestock. There's no how you want to define agriculture, secondary school, primary school, you are going to use key words from. And looking at the picture, you will know that that man likely don't even know the number of cocoyam stand in that farm. It is very likely. Then looking at the second picture, back here rearing a fowl. The fowl are even exposed to running around, eating, taking things for themselves. The man or the owner of this birds, we definitely don't even know how much they've eaten. And you will agree with me that these are low, not be genetically altered that will grow slowly. So the owner of this bird cannot say, most of them that you even know which month is going to be ready for sale. Some of them even stay 2-3 years before they sell them. That is not real. That is just old way of doing the business. Look at local market and open market. Now, see this second picture, this second slide. Now, I want to define agribusiness here. Agribusiness emphasizes the application of core business principles, quantitative techniques, financial management to production planning and actual production. Production planning is different from actual production. If it is not planned in a way that is going to suit business, it is not agribusiness. What I mean is this. For instance, you have in your backyard a space that you can raise 1,000 layers and you want to be producing egg. After this webinar, after showing the 5 key low budget thing, I say, oh, that is a good thing. Let me just use the opportunity of activating my backyard. The planning matters. You can see where production planning comes in and the actual production. Distribution and utilization of food and fiber. So looking at these 2 pictures here, you will see a precise calculation of planting. the owner of this farm now know the number of seeds that is planted, that he has planted, and what is expected. It is precise. Look at this broiler. It is commercial level and it is massive. You will be sure that you know the number of broilers you buy. Even though if you don't count by 1, 2, 3, you will know how much you paid. So one way or the other, a calculative measure. Now, I want to ask, just want more to answer. Which one is agribusiness? This second and this first picture. Quick, just a minute. So where we define agriculture, define agribusiness. Don't look at the relation. Look at the picture. Which one is agribusiness? Picture showing you self-farming. And second picture is showing GE, not what we call a business is this. Let's go. Now, is agribusiness when it is. So it can be either, it can be small scale by hand, your backyard. It can be small scale like that have cocoyam like that. It can be big, like this second picture here. But it is only this is smart. This smart, SMART. If you are told you are not going to go home with don't forget the words. You are already where it who is good because through what means do you want to say you are. It has to be measurable. It has to be attainable. It has to be relevant. It has to be explain this time base. I'm sending it go. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You will still come and repeat it again. And it's an effort you're supposed to bank on and grow. Grow in the sense that those people will tell people, and through that, you will continue to grow. That is widely matter in time of this time base. And that is one of the key reasons this time is why many companies are failing. All their resources, all their capacity, they plan it on just one production plan, which is wrong. So let's go ahead. Now, I want to bring agribusiness to business ideology. How you should think it. Agribusiness. Business behind it. That is why the word business is bolded. I only want to define business. Is the effort and activity of a person who is producing goods and or offering services with the intent to sell them for profit. So if your own idea now is just produce chicken for you, you and your family, no, this webinar is not for you. We are talking about people that want to do business with it and make money. And we are saying that this is how you must think it. Think from the profit angle. And that is why you can say you are using the word smart. Look at this picture of profit, growing the coin, you coin to bigger coin. Look at that idea, give me money. How much more money? How much money? Define it. You must start from the product that let me produce it. No, start from the who you want to produce. You can produce. You must think about profit first. I will take long as we explain to us. Now, so we talk about this is value chain. This is everybody in this way, they are making money from you currently, or you are making money from others. So what I'm saying is that even though in the idea of the value chain of the business, we want to, the 5 low budget we want to give today, you want to eat from it, don't forget to pay your business as business, and that is what can make sense. See that as business. Pay yourself, pay the cost money, don't just take it. We are about people that are looking towards profit here. So see production, processing, marketing, and consumer. So we have people along the agricultural practice. What we are doing currently, the training we are doing, what I am doing currently is the agricultural practice. We tell people how to do it rightly. Even though this one is free, the one that I was working from Aton or in Ogun State, if you're not working with people, not my own business. Now, pursue your own passion. We have people that study agriculture, agribusiness, that are already in the business. Like me, I supposed to study medicine, but I end up studying animal production ahead. It's a passion that is driving me. So create more job opportunity, then make more money for yourself, additional extra money, or money outside your salary, or money that you can make. You don't have to wait till you retire. You can start it now. That when you retire, it's just to enlarge it and make it increase. Flexible hours to work, then tax benefits. The advantage and disadvantage for small scale business lecturing is here. This one is just business, not only agribusiness. So independence, innovation, and responsibility. So I want to quickly go into this has been explained earlier, so I will not waste time on this. This is just showing what agribusiness look like in Nigeria generally. Cropping is the largest strength we have, and which is about 87%. That is where money is coming to Nigeria pocket. Then next is livestock. Livestock is separated from fishery. Then we have fishery, just 3.2%. Then we have forestry, which is just 1.1%. Now, let us go to the challenges. Just with this slide, we just want to tell you that there's a problem. We are not telling you that it's going to be a smooth ride, but with understanding, attention to dodge them, you stand a great chance to be successful in this business. We assure you that. Now, number one of the challenges is resources shortage. The land, some people will now tell you, that I don't even have the money, or I don't have the resources. Those are the inputs you need, or I don't have the land to use. Yes, it is there, but what if you have a little backyard you can use? The opportunity we are going to show today will make you understand that those resources can be shortage to people that did not attend this webinar, but if after attending this webinar, you will see that those opportunities are there. Violence and conflict, yes, it is with us in Nigeria. Remember, herdsmen in Nigeria is there. They can't deny the fact. Then updated system of agriculture using hoe and cutlass. They are not here to preach hoe and cutlass alone here. Even though you are going to use hoe, it is hoe you will use with sense. Then absence of value addition and supply chain. You remember, I told us earlier that World Bank said 30 to 40% of what Africa are producing is going to wastage and lost. And that is a great challenge. That is because our storage facilities poor, we don't have power. All those are challenges truly. Then insufficient supply to meet growth. The rate of which Nigeria is growing, it's alarming. It's a challenge because the supply is not enough. I remember a few months ago, Egypt got to the level that the corn is supposed to convert to layers. It's not enough because human beings are already competing with it with this world economic crisis. They start slaughtering and killing the layers birds. They are eating it instead of the bird to be competing with them with corn. So they choose because of the population pressure on food. Then lack of yes, especially if you are looking to it massively, because many many financial institutes are still skeptical to loan or to borrow farmers' money. Those are the challenges. But we are here to preach to you today that you can dodge all these challenges, you can mitigate them, you can outsmart those challenges. Now, let us go to the business of it. The 5 low-key, low-budget business opportunity we want to show you today are cucumber production. Some people will laugh that cucumber, just ordinary cucumber. Yes, cucumber. Pawpaw production, number 2. Catfish fingerling production. Then poultry brood and sale. So it is an opportunity. If you have space, you have opportunity, or you see land, or you notice, okay, how using this is, you need to do it. Cucumber is one of the most popular vegetable widely consumed across the country. People who are in farming can attest to this lucrativeness. I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 people here, we attest to it that cucumber is money. We sell even go up here, off Nigeria, rain is rain. And from back to Nigeria. You doing cool behind back, and you see doing your business you are doing now. But if you want to scale up, you may want to resign or to face it squarely. So the margin can escalate to 100% Nigeria. Water availability, hybrid seed, organic manure is key to sustainability and volume of production. Don't forget, this dinner is not to tell you details of how to do it yet. It's just to open your eyes, your mind to it, that you are the one that's worth time looking into agribusiness, low budget, and make extra money corner side from it. Don't just here to just open your eyes to it. Details of how to do it smartly will be later. Now, smart farmers are to harvest every 3 days. Imagine coming to your bank account every 3 days. It's just a business. Within 35 to 49 days, you plant cucumber, you start harvest, and you'll be taking home the money every 3 days. What can be good more than that? I don't know. Like somebody usually say, you said, I asked him, I said, how profitable is pharmaceutical business? You are selling drug. It's my friend. He said, how will he describe it to me? He said, there's a business that is profitable than pharmaceutical business. I said, what business? He said, 419. So I am not going to say 419 is the only business that is more profitable than this, but you are sure something is dropping to your accounts every 3 days. After, just from with well planning, you arrange in such a way that they are just getting mature one cash after the other. Now, moving ahead, cucumber is ready. Okay, I've mentioned that. Cucumber yield per acre, just for you to have the view, is an average of 400 bags. Price between 2,500 and 6,000 naira. Each bag, just if you do the multiplication of that, that is 1 million naira. That's 1 acre. That's with one plot. If you have opportunity in one plot, you can even say, I don't have plots. Does that mean I cannot do cucumber? I will show you something as you move on. With as low as just 100,000 naira, start. In fact, you don't need up to that. A sachet of the hybrid is just for, and that you need that to plant around 3 plots. And that is half an acre, just 14,700. And maybe you use hand to plant it, or you want to. Let's move on. Let me show you this picture. This picture number 1 here. This is conventional cucumber farming. And this is rich line and but how about this second picture? Can you see smart business cucumber? in the backyard of somebody. This place is sand, soil, inside nylon, just like what is raining sometimes ago about yam. So also is cucumber possible in polythene bags. See, it is in bag. Yeah, you can just bag it. Maybe you are a banker and you are going to your office and drop it with those aboki. Just make sure you are harvesting due time so that that get so this look at it about one look. So let's the normal purple. Okay. Normal people what it means is that they believe to take rather in rainy season, and that is because they are not agribusinesses. They are local. We only local purple. We only. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the feedback. Now, local purple only fruit during rainy season. And imagine somebody hear this webinar, did not hear the smart aspect of it, and go ahead and plant purple, maybe local purple. The person is just doing irrigation. He will never make money from it because the land for cultivation and all that he will not even cover. But we are talking about smart way to make money. From just one plot, you'll be heaping a lot of money. Now, going through all this, showing 100% margin, just like cucumber, your profit can be as high as 70%. And we just need also 100,000 less than you do this. Now, let me show you something. See, look at purple here. Look at this purple. Look at this second picture. This first one is local purple. It will only fruit during rainy season and start ripening in dry season. Look at this one. This is exotic purple, but it is F2, not F1. Look at this third one. This is about this somebody that go through a training like this that did not understand how to do it well and went ahead and plant purple. But in Nigeria, you will not make money from this small fruit purple. We are talking about this smart purple business that will fruit continuously for good 2 years. Imagine you are sure of 3 days harvest and money coming. Each one purple and give you one purple is an average of from the farm, average of 250 naira, smallest at worst is 150 naira. And you can be sure that one can give you about 250 seed fruit rather. So imagine the money, do the calculation yourself. The third one is the catfish fingerlings. I know most of us have understood this, and we are just saying that you can do this even in your backyard. What you just need is a vat, a bowl, picture. Let me show you pictures of people. Look at this picture. Look at the backyard of somebody, raise it, and make your money. All you need is just understand what can sell fast, what people are requesting for, where to sell it, and what breed. If you look at this first picture, this is people just know that catfish is catfish. No. If you just jump into it and start producing catfish, your catfish may not even hatch. We are talking about catfish that can hatch, catfish that you can sell conveniently that people will be looking for it to buy. The first one is the pliers that everybody knows pliers. The second one is this second picture is the heterorhopus. The third one, it is the hybrid. One that is before you produce the hybrid. So imagine you don't know it now, and this hybrid is useless for breathing. So the training And understand the smart aspect of the business is what you need to make good money from the business. Then the third one is brood and sell. This is a common business that most people do, but some people still do it wrongly and miss it big time. Brood and sell in poultry business is that raising the bird for just few weeks, maximum of 4 weeks, and sell. The wahala is in the neck of people that are raising it. However, you need quality, you need to do it rightly so that you can consistently produce and to do it smartly to make your money steadily. Don't open your eyes to the margin of, oh, I want to sell it to the final buyer. No, so that you make that large margin. Sell, do it in such a way that you will sell volume. Even though the profit you are making is maybe 10% or 15%, that 15%, if you are doing 10,000 in a month, you will know what you are making big time. So this next picture is showing what we are talking about in brood and sale, brooding, raising broiler for just 4 months and sell it, raising cockerel from 4 weeks rather, 4 weeks and sell it. Cockerel also, look at this picture, this cockerel picture. Look at the shape, the thing they are standing on. Currently, shavings is what everybody is looking for. They are standing, this one are raised on straws, grass. Smart way to cut cost and make money utilizing getting the opportunity. This is picture of a turkey. You know how much turkey, a day old turkey now is an average of about 1,000. Look at turkey, about 2,500, just day old. Raising it to 6 weeks and sell is business. Those are the opportunity you can utilize, the little space you have, the little farmland you can access with little funds. In Ogun State, they used to lease for us. That's how cheap you can. That is how you can access land. You can learn the people that are in the business of leasing land for people or selling land also. So the final one in the is how you connect farmer to the consumer or to the customer, because there's difference between consumer. In the finance area, economics, customers are people that stay with you. Consumer once and go. Today, no, we are in the time for. Thank you. God bless you. I will be waiting for questions and answers. If you have questions, please kindly drop your question on the chat. And at the end of this webinar today, a link will be dropped on our WhatsApp groups for you to get you your viewer. Thank you so much. I'll be expecting questions.
Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation, Mr. Luwabomi. We've come to the question and answer section. If you have any question, you can drop it on the chat box and we would respond to that accordingly. So we're waiting for your questions to drop. Thank you.
You can swear
Your hands
please. Your question.
Parcel of land. How do we know the best soil to grow things in? Where do we get kind of soil you were teaching us now? Thank you. Did you get me?
Thank you for the question. The details, like I said, this webinar is just to open our eyes to those opportunities, to identify here and tap it as an opportunity, like you have identified now, that okay, I can do this, I can do that. How? What soil? What manure? How do I consistently produce? It's about those one cannot come in the training. We know only, like if you check the minutes or the time for this webinar, it's just for a few minutes. We can't cover all that. And if we have to cover all, that means we have to stick on maybe on one of the products. Maybe you are interested in cucumber, for example, now, we will not be able to touch the remaining 5. So we want people to use this webinar as an opportunity to see from the 5, even though it is more than 5, at the opportunity. So if you want to know how, or the type of soil, how to grow it, how to manage it, how to get the and how to, it is going to be well elaborated and explained in our future training that is going to follow after this webinar. So, and in the WhatsApp group, we have several WhatsApp groups for each group. So details of how am I hear me, please? Can I? Other questions? Maybe. Hello, my audible now, please. Can you hear me, please?
So I just pick some of the questions I'm sharing here so that you can address them.
I have some already. Can I read it out? Now, someone is saying, so it is about showing everything at a glance. Now that you have what you have in mind, you can now, in our training, you can just register for training alone, for that option alone. Talking about cucumber, for instance, you will have to go through the training of how to smartly produce cucumber. Same thing, how to rear broiler, poultry, 4 months, how to be an agent, special training. That is what is going to follow after this webinar. That is the next stage. This one is just to open our eyes to everything at a glance, so that we don't know yet what is in your mind. Maybe you don't even have time to start raising one broiler. Maybe you are even living in GRA that is specific order. How about looking at the option of cucumber or pawpaw, things like that. That is why this webinar is the first stage, to open your eyes to all the opportunities. Then you can now choose. So have I answered your question, Mr. Alpha?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. You've answered the question.
All right. Any other one?
So I wanted to mention, for somebody like, I don't know, maybe Mrs. Awoshika that asked the question as to, you know, a bit of the specifics. May I suggest that if it is possible to give some ideas as to how, even if it is one of these, even if you don't show us everything, at least if you can give us an idea, so that at least we have, we're a bit more convinced that, you know, these things are in fact possible. Thank you, sir.
All right, I got that. Now, let me use the first one as an example, just to show. Okay, I think I've explained much on the first one, which is the first one is the cucumber business. Now, to elaborate more, if you have plots of land you can cultivate for that, even though you don't have land, you look at the second peak here, that is showing that it's behind somebody's backyard, a space. So now, what you need to put in mind as a calculation, as a smart business option, that, okay, do I have, can I sell to the final consumer? Most of the answer for people that are here maybe no. Maybe they are not aboki, they are not stationed in a place that, okay, they want to turn it to a business, I'm producing, I'm selling to the final consumer. Okay, the question would be, do I have people like those aboki people that can buy from me, doing suya, people that are selling to the final people, that are selling to restaurants, selling along with your jollof or fried rice? The answer can be yes, which is very possible. Now, you can have land, you can also have opportunity. You are not using currently, or you rented a place, the house is just there in one corner, and there's still a lot of space in front to use. And you can just ask for your landlord, can I use this place? I want to plant something, I just want to try something. Anyway, if you did not pay, the landlord may open eye to you one day if he knows that you are making money from it. However, it is an opportunity for you to explore. So we are saying that with just 100,000, less than that, like I've said, I said the seed costs about just 14,700 naira, the hybrid seed that will produce massively, and you will be harvesting every 3 days. So I may not be able to go still deep to explain the details of, okay, this is season to plant, this is how for you to plan it. But with that alone, it shows that there's something you can do as a side hustle and make cool money. So I think that is how far I want to go with the explanation with the cucumber. Same also go with the rest. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much, sir.
So going through the questions that have been dropped again, I want to see if I so it's for another question is saying, what can we say about farmers who are not sorry? What can we say about farmers who are not learned and are not in and are into commercial agriculture? Are they practicing agribusiness or agriculture? Most of people doing agribusiness in Nigeria are actually doing agriculture. That is just the fact. Most commercial farmers are actually doing agriculture, not agribusiness. Let me use, I will not mention name. I've worked in a company before, and the company, as we are talking now, is no more existing. It's a big farm in Nigeria. Maybe through the course of my explanation, you can view, but I will not mention it for security's sake. If your business or what they are doing does not align with what we call smart, they will miss it. In fact, they will think they are making money, but they are likely going to miss it, or they are likely not to grow. And a business that is not growing, that does not have the possibility of growing, we get stuck. We all know about CHI, what we call CHI. CHI is not the actual name, but people call it CHI. The actual name is CHI. Do you know that they started with pharmaceutical? They are actually not into our business. But they started pharmaceutical because they consider the business, the conglomerate is called TGI. If you look at all their calendar, you will see TGI. That TGI is the conglomerate of all their businesses. The pharmaceutical is still existing. But because they consider business with what they are doing, that is why they can grow.
Questions. I'd like to appreciate everyone that took time out to join this platform. I hope this webinar was impactful. I hope you were able to learn one or two things that you can apply businesses or things that you can apply to your businesses. I hope helpful. So as Mr. Bumi mentioned, there are going to be further trainings, on how to do agribusiness the right way. We're going to dial down and dial down on the details. And we'll look at your funding, for example, and tailoring it to specific space in the value chain of agriculture. So there are going to be workshops, where you your community experience coming up in subsequent training. For you all to stay tuned to our various social media, the advertisement, and then everybody on this platform, of course, we have your phone numbers and details, your contact details. We would also update you on subsequent trainings. Tomorrow we'll be having another webinar, such that next tomorrow having another webinar to make sure tools like people that exist in the business, a little bit of high market share in the industry. So if you're willing, you can also join that platform, for next tomorrow. And I would also implore you all to remain on the WhatsApp platforms forum so that you can have access to relevant information on this particular subject. So thank you all for your time. I hope you guys have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.